Dr. Karen Burke, a board-certified dermatologist and expert in skin aging, is sounding a quiet alarm. After 60, age spots aren't just caused by sun. They're signs your skin's natural repair system is falling behind. According to her, melanin misfires, slow cell turnover, and lingering inflammation create the perfect storm for these stubborn spots to appear and stay. Comment 1 if you've ever felt like your spots keep coming back, no matter what you try on the outside. You're not alone, and there may be a reason. Here's the part most people miss. No cream or laser can stop age spots if your biology stays out of sync. It's not just about surface damage. It's about how your skin heals, how immune signals calm down, and how nutrient levels quietly control the whole process. Dr. Burke points to 4 specific vitamins that can help restore your skin's rhythm from within, giving your body the tools it needs to respond better, heal smarter, and prevent future marks. Let's begin with the first, vitamin C. Vitamin C, the invisible builder behind radiant, spot-free skin. As we age, the face we see in the mirror slowly changes. A few fine lines, perhaps, a softening of the skin. But then, without warning, small brown spots begin to appear on cheeks, hands, arms. They seem harmless at first, just marks of time, right? But for many people after 60, these spots feel like the beginning of fading of brightness leaving the skin. What most don't realize is that age spots aren't just surface stains. They're the tip of an iceberg, the visible signal that deeper systems beneath the skin are slowing down, especially in how the skin handles sunlight, damage, and daily repair. And that's where vitamin C becomes essential. Think of vitamin C as the quiet builder behind the scenes. You don't see it working, but without it, nothing holds together. The skin relies on collagen to stay firm, smooth, and even in tone. Collagen is the frame, the scaffolding, the invisible net that keeps skin bouncy and full. But collagen doesn't build itself. It needs a helper, a spark, to begin its assembly. That spark is vitamin C. Without it, your body literally cannot form new collagen properly. And when collagen breaks down faster than it's repaired, which happens naturally with age, the skin begins to sag, thin out, and develop weak spots, like soft plaster on an old wall. But the connection to age spots goes further. Vitamin C doesn't just help build skin, it helps protect it. Every day, your skin faces tiny attacks from sunlight, pollution, and the normal byproducts of metabolism. These attacks create unstable molecules called free radicals. Imagine them like sparks flying off a fire. They can burn and damage whatever they touch. In skin, they damage DNA, proteins, and especially melanin, the pigment that gives your skin its color. When melanin is disrupted, it clumps, misfires, and settles unevenly in patches. That's when spots begin to form. Here's where vitamin C shows its second gift. It's one of nature's strongest antioxidants, like a firefighter with a water bucket, rushing to put out sparks before they catch. It neutralizes free radicals before they can harm skin cells or trigger extra melanin production. In fact, one of the reasons vitamin C is so powerful against age spots is that it blocks the enzyme that tells the skin to make extra melanin in the first place. It's like dimming the signal before the pigment has a chance to settle into dark, uneven patches. The third way vitamin C helps is in healing. As skin gets older, its ability to regenerate slows. Cuts take longer to fade. Sun exposure leaves lasting marks. But vitamin C plays a role in cellular turnover, nudging new cells to rise, helping worn-out ones shed away. Think of it like a gentle spring rain, encouraging new growth from the ground while washing away old debris. That's why, with consistent use, vitamin C can help fade existing age spots over time, not overnight, but gradually, quietly, as healthier skin rises to the surface. Now, how do you get enough vitamin C, especially after 60, when absorption and repair slow down first. Food. The best sources are fresh, colorful fruits and vegetables, bell peppers, oranges, strawberries, kiwi, broccoli, and kale. But many older adults don't eat enough of these regularly. Cooking also destroys some of the vitamin C in vegetables. That's why supplements can be helpful, especially when skin is already showing signs of stress. Look for L-ascorbic acid, the active form your body recognizes. A daily dose of 500 to 1,000 mg is often recommended for skin health. For those who experience stomach discomfort, buffered forms, or liposomal vitamin C, encased in a fatty layer for easier absorption, can be gentler. What's important is consistency. Vitamin C doesn't stay long in the body. It's water-soluble and flushed out daily. So small, steady doses are better than rare, large ones. For skin specifically, topical vitamin C serums have also been shown to help, especially at concentrations of 10 to 20%. These deliver vitamin C directly to the layers where it's needed most. But not all serums are equal. Choose one in an airtight, dark bottle. Vitamin C breaks down quickly in light and air, and use it in the morning before sunscreen to help protect your skin from UV-triggered pigment changes. And that brings us full circle, because sunscreen and vitamin C are best friends. Sunscreen blocks future damage. Vitamin C repairs the past and strengthens the skin's natural defenses. One shields, one rebuilds. Together, they give your skin its best chance to resist discoloration, stay even, and glow with quiet strength. After 60, skin no longer rebounds the way it used to. But that doesn't mean brightness is gone. It simply means you need to support it more intentionally. Vitamin C doesn't erase age, but it reminds your skin how to renew. Day by day, cell by cell, it rebuilds what time tries to wear down, not with force, but with quiet precision. And sometimes, that's all aging skin needs, not a miracle, but a companion, one that brings light back to the surface, where it belongs. Once the skin's repair crew is in place, it needs a shield, something to guard every cell from daily wear. That's where vitamin E steps in. Vitamin E, the skin's inner shield against time and spotting. As the years pass, the skin begins to carry its story more visibly. A fine crease here, a softened texture there. But for many people after 60, what starts to stand out most aren't the lines, but the dark, uneven patches, age spots. Quietly, they spread across the hands, arms, cheeks, small, irregular footprints of the past. While vitamin C helps the skin rebuild and stay bright, it's vitamin E that defends it from falling apart in the first place. Think of vitamin E as the skin's natural shield, not a heavy armor, but a soft, flexible film that wraps every cell and keeps it safe. Inside the body, vitamin E settles into the membranes that surround skin cells. Those membranes are like the outer walls of each cell, fragile, but essential. They hold moisture in, keep irritants out, and allow signals to pass through. But as we age, and especially under sunlight or pollution, these membranes get worn down. Once they're damaged, skin cells can't function normally. They leak, they inflame, and they trigger a series of stress responses, including the overproduction of melanin, the pigment that causes age spots. Here's where vitamin E quietly steps in. It sits right inside the cell wall, guarding it like a vigilant gatekeeper. Its job: to neutralize the unstable particles, free radicals that form when the skin is exposed to UV rays or daily metabolic activity. These particles, if left alone, pierce through the cell's defenses and start a chain reaction of damage, especially in the fat-rich outer layers of skin. But vitamin E intercepts them, breaking the chain before it can harm the skin's structure or color. In this way, it prevents the kind of invisible wear and tear that leads to visible pigmentation later on. But its work doesn't end there. Vitamin E also plays a crucial role in calming the skin's internal alarm system. When the skin senses injury or oxidative stress, it sends out inflammatory messengers, tiny chemical signals that call the immune system into action. In younger skin, this process is fast and efficient. But after 60, the signals linger longer. Inflammation becomes chronic. And one of the long-term side effects of this silent inflammation is uneven melanin distribution, those stubborn brown spots that never seem to fade. Vitamin E helps to reduce this internal tension. It lowers the noise in the system. It tells the skin not everything needs to be treated as an emergency. In doing so, it supports an even, calm tone, especially in areas most exposed to the sun over decades. Unlike some vitamins, vitamin E isn't made by the body. We have to get it from food or supplements. The good news is, many foods are rich in this antioxidant. Almonds, sunflower seeds, hazelnuts, avocado, spinach, and olive oil are some of the best natural sources. For skin health after 60, aim to include at least one of these in your meals daily. However, dietary vitamin E can take time to reach the skin, especially in older adults with slower digestion or nutrient absorption. That's why many dermatologists recommend topical vitamin E as well. Creams or oils containing alpha-tocopherol, the most active form of vitamin E, can deliver it directly where it's needed. When applied after gentle cleansing and under sunscreen in the morning, it forms a second layer of protection against sunlight. When used at night, it helps restore skin that's been stressed by the day. Choose products that combine vitamin E with vitamin C. These two work better together, recycling and reactivating each other inside the skin's layers. As for supplements, natural source vitamin E, D-alpha-tocopherol, is generally preferred over synthetic forms, DL-alpha-tocopherol, as it's better absorbed and retained. A daily dose of 100 to 200 IU is considered safe and supportive for most adults. Higher doses should only be taken with guidance, especially if you're on blood thinners or managing cardiovascular concerns. Importantly, vitamin E's role in preventing age spots isn't about lightening skin artificially. It's about strengthening the skin from the inside so that it doesn't break down and create spots in the first place. It supports the lipid barrier, protects collagen from oxidative stress, and ensures the pigment-producing cells stay balanced and calm, not triggered into overactivity. In the story of skin aging, vitamin E doesn't make a loud entrance. It doesn't promise miracles or overnight changes, but it does show up, quietly, every day, standing between your skin and the small, repeated insults that lead to long-term damage. After 60, when the skin's natural resilience has softened, that quiet strength matters more than ever. Just like a good roof doesn't draw attention when it works, but keeps a house safe through every storm. Vitamin E protects what you can't always see until one day you realize your skin has remained even, smooth, and far more radiant than you'd expected. And sometimes, that's enough, a small layer of support, doing its job so well that the signs of time pass more gently. Protection alone isn't enough. Your skin also needs a leader, a guide that tells cells when to grow, where to go, and how to renew. That role belongs to vitamin A, the cell whisperer that keeps pigment in its place. After 60, your skin's rhythm begins to shift. It no longer turns over cells with the same speed. Sun exposure from decades past starts to show its consequences. And you might begin to notice scattered dark spots, age spots, appearing on your hands, cheeks, or forehead. They're not sudden. They're the quiet result of years of oxidative stress and uneven pigment activity. But there's one vitamin that quietly regulates the entire system of skin repair and pigment control: vitamin A. Think of your skin as a garden. Each day, cells grow, mature, and are meant to shed, making room for new ones beneath. But over time, this cycle slows. Old cells linger on the surface. When that happens, melanin, the pigment that gives your skin its color, can begin to clump in certain areas, especially where sun exposure was repeated. These clumps become visible as flat brown spots. They're not harmful, but they're a clear signal that your skin's internal repair clock is lagging. Vitamin A works deep in the skin's structure, not just on the surface. It tells immature cells in the lower layers of the epidermis how to grow, what role to take, and when to move up. It ensures that old cells exit at the right pace and new ones are properly formed. When vitamin A is sufficient, skin renewal is steady and balanced. Pigment-producing cells, melanocytes, stay calm, evenly distribute melanin, and fade when no longer needed. But when vitamin A is low, whether from diet, poor absorption, or aging, this system loses order. Old cells pile up, pigment lingers, sunlight accelerates the damage, and the skin begins to show uneven tone and age spots. Biologically, vitamin A comes in two main forms: retinol, active form, from animal foods, and beta-carotene from plant foods, which the body must convert. Inside your body, it gets stored in the liver and sent to skin cells where it binds to nuclear receptors, tiny switches inside the cell nucleus. Once switched on, these receptors control over 500 genes related to skin growth, collagen formation, and pigment regulation. This is where the real power lies. Vitamin A doesn't just nourish the skin. It directly programs it to behave more youthfully, to shed damaged layers, and to stop producing excess pigment in the wrong places. Unfortunately, conversion of beta-carotene into usable retinol slows with age. If you're over 60 and relying solely on carrots or greens for vitamin A, your skin may still be undersupplied. You may also struggle to absorb it efficiently if your diet lacks healthy fats, or if your digestion is impaired. That's why many older adults benefit from small, steady sources of active vitamin A, whether from egg yolks, liver, or properly dosed supplements. Now, you may have heard of topical vitamin A retinoids. These are often used in creams and serums to treat fine lines and dark spots. They work by stimulating cell turnover at the surface, but they can also cause dryness or irritation if used incorrectly. What's often overlooked is that internal vitamin A, what you eat, creates the baseline health that makes topical care more effective. Without it, your skin lacks the building blocks for repair, no matter how many creams you apply. In real life, support your vitamin A levels by rotating in foods like pastured eggs, wild-caught salmon, or small portions of beef or chicken liver once a week. A half teaspoon of cod liver oil can also offer both vitamin A and D in a natural balance. If you choose to supplement, look for multivitamins designed for age 60 plus, with moderate levels of preformed vitamin A, not megadoses. And always take it with a meal that contains fat, such as olive oil, avocado, or nuts, because without fat, this vitamin won't be absorbed properly. Think of vitamin A as the quiet conductor of your skin's symphony. You don't see it, but it directs the tempo of regeneration, keeps pigment in check, and ensures that old notes don't play out of tune. It doesn't erase age spots overnight, but over weeks and months, it helps prevent new ones from forming. It brings rhythm back to a skin system that's slowed with age. And here's the key. It's not about chasing youth. It's about helping your skin keep its natural intelligence. When you support that process from the inside out, age spots lose their grip, not because you're fighting them, but because your skin no longer needs to leave those marks behind. But even the best builders need balance. Behind the scenes, vitamin D3 and K2 manage deeper rhythms, calming inflammation, guiding calcium, and keeping your pigment system in check. Vitamin D3, K2, the silent architects behind skin balance and cellular calm. Age spots don't just appear from nowhere. They're the result of deeper internal miscommunications when pigment cells respond chaotically to sunlight, when inflammation quietly simmers beneath the skin's surface, and when your body's repair system runs slower than damage occurs. One of the most overlooked regulators of this balance is vitamin D3, especially when paired with its natural partner, vitamin K2. Together, D3 and K2 act like architects and traffic controllers inside the body. They don't build the skin directly, but they control how resources move, where calcium goes, how genes are expressed, and when inflammation needs to rise or retreat. When their roles are fulfilled, the skin becomes more stable, less reactive, and more capable of healing itself without leaving marks behind. Let's begin with vitamin D3. Though often known for its role in bones, D3 is also a key hormone regulator. It influences how your skin cells grow, how immune cells behave, and how inflammatory signals are handled after sun exposure. When you have enough vitamin D3, pigment-producing melanocytes are kept in check. They don't overreact to UV light. Your immune system calms down quickly after injury, and your skin heals with fewer lingering pigment scars. But here's the catch: after age 60, your skin's ability to convert sunlight into vitamin D3 drops significantly. You might spend time outdoors, but your body may no longer make enough D3. At the same time, if your diet lacks D3-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, or fortified milk, your blood levels slowly decline. And without enough D3, the skin becomes more sensitive to sun damage. Tiny injuries become amplified. Dark spots form more easily. Inflammation lasts longer. This is where K2 steps in. Vitamin K2 doesn't work in the skin directly, but it makes sure calcium stays out of places it shouldn't be. When D3 is present without K2, calcium from your diet can be deposited in soft tissues, including the skin's microvessels, leading to stiffness, oxidative stress, and poor circulation. Over time, this impairs the skin's ability to regenerate and can trigger low-grade inflammation that fuels age spots. K2 acts like a smart gatekeeper, redirecting calcium to bones and teeth where it belongs, and clearing it from arteries and capillaries that feed your skin. From a biological point of view, vitamin D3 enters the bloodstream and is converted by the liver and kidneys into an active hormone, calcitriol. This hormone enters skin cells and binds to specific receptors in the nucleus. Once bound, it helps regulate genes responsible for skin barrier function, immune tolerance, and pigment production. In parallel, vitamin K2 activates proteins like matrix GLA protein MGP, which vacuum calcium out of skin vessels and prevent calcification. It also supports osteocalcin, which helps deposit calcium into bones instead of the bloodstream. Without both D3 and K2 working together, the system falls out of sync. Inflammatory messengers rise. Skin loses its resilience. Healing slows, and pigment disturbances like age spots appear more frequently and take longer to fade. In daily life, maintaining D3 and K2 is easier than it seems. A morning walk in mild sunlight for 15 to 20 minutes helps with natural D3 production, but only if your skin can still synthesize it. As that ability declines with age, food and supplements become more important. For D3, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines are excellent sources. For K2, fermented foods like natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, and egg yolks are rich options. If supplementing, a combined D3 plus K2 soft gel, typically 1,000 to 2,000 IU of D3, with 100 mcg of K2 taken with a meal containing fat, can restore balance gently and consistently. Think of D3 and K2 as subtle engineers working behind the scenes. You don't feel their action, but they're constantly adjusting the environment like quiet thermostats, keeping your skin calm, responsive, and clean of unnecessary residue. Their work may not erase existing age spots, but it significantly slows the formation of new ones by targeting the internal causes. pigment imbalance, inflammation, and calcium misplacement. This is not about perfect skin. It's about intelligent skin. Skin that knows when to react, when to rest, and when to let go of old marks instead of turning them into permanent stains. With D3 and K2 guiding from within, your skin's deeper systems begin to flow again, quietly rebuilding the balance that holds pigmentation, circulation, and healing together. When these four come together, they don't just fade spots. They restore your skin's memory of how to heal. From within, you've likely spent decades taking care of your skin with creams, sunscreens, and routines. But after 60, the rules change. Age spots don't just come from the sun, they come from within. Your skin loses speed in cell renewal. Your pigment balance goes off track, and tiny inflammations leave lasting marks. It's no longer enough to fix what's on the surface. You need to nourish what lies beneath. That's why this 4-vitamin combo, vitamin C, E, A, and D3-K2, isn't just another checklist. It's your skin's internal support team, working together to calm inflammation, regulate melanin, strengthen cell turnover, and restore healing speed that's naturally slowed with age. These vitamins don't bleach your skin. They rebuild its wisdom. Think of vitamin C as your repair crew, patching oxidative cracks before they turn into spots. Vitamin E is the shield guarding skin cell membranes from daily damage. Vitamin A acts like the head engineer, orchestrating renewal from deep inside the epidermis. And D3K2 are the background regulators, ensuring calcium, immune signals, and pigment responses flow in balance. Together, they give your skin the rhythm and feedback it once had in youth. You don't need expensive treatments to erase every mark. You need a quiet shift inside better signaling, better balance, and better raw materials. Start small. Add one change to your breakfast. Swap a supplement. Choose smarter oils. These aren't magic pills, but they unlock your skin's deeper memory, the memory of how to heal. And the more that memory returns, the more your skin can do what it's always wanted: to turn the page on damage and keep writing the story of your life with light, not with stains.